Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to learn units and measurements. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about this? Well, in JEE Mains, straight one question comes from this chapter and is very easy. We will see how. And by using units and dimensions, a lot of questions even from other chapters can be solved. By eliminating options that have different units. For example, if, in a question we need to find the speed, we know the units of speed is ms. But in the options, we have three options that have different unit and not meter per second. So, one might take a long way of calculating it and then finding out the answer, but by knowing units, we can do this question in 5 seconds by just checking the units. So this chapter is very useful. So, let's dive in and learn about units and measurements. To start, we need to understand two fundamental concepts: physical quantities and measurement. Let's break them down one by one. What are physical quantities? Think about the things around you. How would you describe them? You might say a table is long, a bag is heavy, or a room is warm. These descriptions, length, weight, and temperature, are all examples of physical quantities. Physical quantities are things that we can measure, either directly or indirectly. For example, length can be measured with a ruler. We can measure mass using a weighing scale. Temperature is measured using a thermometer. But can we measure everything? Not quite. For instance, can you measure love or anger? While these emotions are significant, we can't assign a numerical value to them using standard units. That's why they're not considered physical quantities. Now that we understand what physical quantities are, let's move on to how we actually measure them. What is measurement? Measurement is the process of comparing the amount of a physical quantity with a standard reference amount of that same quantity. This standard reference is what we call a unit. Let me give you an example. When we say 5 meters of cloth, what do we mean? 5 is the numerical value. Meter is the unit, our standard reference. This measurement tells you that the length of the cloth is 5 times the standard length of 1 meter. It's like saying, if you laid down 5-meter-long sticks end to end, that's how long this cloth is. So remember, a physical quantity is always expressed as a numerical value multiplied by a unit. Now that we've grasped these basic concepts, let's dig a little deeper. Let's explore the different types of physical quantities. Physical quantities are of two types: fundamental and derived. Think of fundamental quantities as the primary colors and derived quantities like mixtures we can create from them. Fundamental quantities, also known as base quantities, are the independent quantities and we can measure all other quantities with them. Can you guess how many fundamental quantities there are? There are 7. Let's count them off. Length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, amount of substance, luminous intensity. Now, what about derived quantities? Derived quantities are calculated using combinations of fundamental quantities. For example, speed is length upon time. Both length and time are fundamental quantities and speed is a derived quantity. Now that we understand the types of physical quantities, you might be wondering, how do we actually measure these things? Great question. This brings us to our next topic: systems of units. Throughout history, scientists have developed various systems to standardize units of measurement. Let's learn these systems. First is FPS system. It uses foot for length, pound for mass, second for time. While it might sound familiar, especially if you've visited countries like the United States, This system is now obsolete in scientific contexts. Second is CGS system. This system is a bit more recent. It uses centimeter for length, gram for mass, second for time. While more precise than FPS, it has a small problem. Can you guess what it might be? That's right. The units are too small for many everyday measurements. Imagine trying to measure the distance between cities in centimeters. Third is MKS system, meter kilogram second. Now we are getting somewhere. This system offers a good balance. It uses meter for length, kilogram for mass, second for time. This system is suitable for measuring both small and large quantities. It's not too big, not too small, but just right. Now finally we have SI system, International System of Units. This is the modern standard used worldwide. The SI system uses the MKS system and adds units for the remaining fundamental quantities. Let's look at them all together. Time is measured in seconds, its symbol is S. Length is measured in meters, its symbol is M. Mass is measured in kilograms, its symbol is kg. Electric current is measured in amperes, its symbol is A. Temperature is measured in kelvins, its symbol is K. Amount of substance is measured in moles, its symbol is mol. And luminous intensity is measured in candelas, its symbol is CD. These units form the foundation of the SI system. From these, we can derive units for other physical quantities. Now that we've explored fundamental units, let's dive into two more types, derived units and supplementary units. Derived units are like the recipes of the measurement world. They're created by combining fundamental units in different ways. Let's look at an example, force. Can you tell me the formula for force? That's right. Force equals mass times acceleration, or F is equal to ma. Let's break this down step by step. F is equal to ma. But acceleration, a, is velocity, v, divided by time, t. So, F is equal to m into v divided by t. And velocity is distance, length, over time. Therefore, F is equal to m into length upon time. Simplifying, we get F is equal to kilograms into meter per second square. Now, in the SI system, we measure force in newtons, N. So, 1 Newton is equal to 1 kilograms meter per second square. Isn't it fascinating? We've just derived the unit of force from our fundamental units. This is why we call it a derived unit. But wait, there's more. Let's explore another category of units that helps us measure angles and solid angles. In supplementary units, we have two units. Radians, rad, for measuring angles. Steradians, SR, for measuring solid angles. Let's visualize these. Radians, imagine a circular arc. We have alpha as the angle, r as the radius length, l as the arc length. The angle in radians is defined as alpha is equal to LR. Next is steradians. Now, let's think in 3D. Imagine a skier. Cut out a cone from this sphere. The half angle of this cone is alpha. The area covered by the 3D surface of this cone is our solid angle, omega. We define the solid angle as omega is equal to a by r square, where A is the area bounded by the cone on the sphere's surface. Now that we've explored these different types of units, let's dive into a concept that ties it all together, dimensions. Dimensions are the powers to which fundamental units are raised to express the derived unit of a quantity. They're incredibly important, especially for those of you preparing for JEE Mains. Most questions from this chapter in JEE Mains focus on dimensions, and they're often easy and high scoring. Let's look at the dimensions of our fundamental quantities. Length has the dimension symbol L. Mass has the dimension symbol m. Time has the dimension symbol t. Electric current has the dimension symbol I. Temperature has the dimension symbol theta. Amount of substance has the dimension symbol n. And luminous intensity has the dimension symbol J. Now, here's the cool part, we can use these to find the dimensions of other quantities too. Let's go back to our previous example, force. Remember the formula? F is equal to ma is equal to m into V by T is equal to m by L by T upon T is equal to m into L into T to the power minus 2. So, the dimensional formula for force is F is equal to m L T to the power minus 2. Now, can you tell me what the dimensional formula for speed would be? That's right. Speed is distance over time or length over time. So its dimensional formula is L T to the power minus 1. We could also write it as m to the power 0 L T to the power minus 1, but since anything raised to the power of 0 is 1, it is the same. The key to finding the dimensional formula of any quantity is to express it in terms of fundamental quantities and then replace those with their dimensions. Let's try one more example, energy. Do you remember a formula for energy? Let's use the kinetic energy formula, E is equal to half mv square. Breaking it down, E is equal to half mv square. V is distance time, so V square is equal to distance upon time square. E is equal to half a meter into distance square upon time square. Therefore, the dimensional formula for energy is E is equal to m L square T to the power minus 2. And there you have it. We've learnt what physical quantities are, different measurement systems, derived units, supplementary units, and dimensions. We hope that you have understood the concept. Now, here's a secret on how you can study effectively with the EduRev app. You can learn with chapter notes, watch video lectures and solve JEE level MCQ tests of this chapter on EduRev, and that's not all. You also get amazing courses for mathematics and much more for your JEE preparation. Thank you.